Welcome back. Today we have a special treat. I was able to get one of the Dior Holiday Edition eyeshadow palettes. I went with the silver edition. They have two different varieties, and since I'm more cool toned, I went with the more cool toned palette. And then I also thought I would try one of the Dior bronzers. I've actually never tried one before. I do love their highlighters. So with all those things, I managed to put together enough to do an entire full face dedicated to Dior and the new Holiday 2024 eyeshadow palette. So here is the eyeshadow palette. I have already played around with it a little bit, but you can see that beautiful silver right there in the center. And then this one has more of the purple, some of the rosy, kind of pinkish shade, but a little more of a dusty rose. So I think that'll be complementary. I'm excited to get to that part. But first, let's get the foundation done. So I'll be using the Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation. This is definitely one of my favorites for doing a more full coverage look. And then I use the shade 0N. So we'll start with a lighter look. Alright, so this is about 1.5 pumps of coverage. I love how it's such a nice natural finish. It's not too matte, not too glowy. It's like that nice in-between. So let's go in with some of the concealer. I have the Dior Backstage concealer. And even though I'm 0N in the foundation, I'm actually shade 2 in the concealer, so they have pretty light concealer colors. So be a little careful with that online. Don't kind of assume it's the same shade as your foundation, which most brands it usually is. So. And now we're going to set the under eye concealer with my absolute favorite setting powder for under the eye. I'm absolutely in love with this, and a little bit torn up that it was a limited edition. So this is from the Blooming Boudoir collection, and I was hoping it was just a limited edition compact, but the color inside, they actually don't sell that in their general collection as well. So I am on the hunt for a replacement for that. But as you can see, it is just this lovely light pink. So it's not too pink, right? But it does do some color correction. Oh, it just has the most flawless finish. So I'll have to let you guys know if I do find a duplicate for this. I absolutely love it. It just provides the right amount of shine reduction without making it too cakey. It does a slight amount of brightening. It's just the most beautiful under eye powder. So now for the bronzer, I did pick up a dual palette, so we have both the bronzer and a highlighter. My highlighter, as much as I love it, it's getting a little old and it's well used, so it's getting a little hard to kind of get stuff out of it. So I'm excited to try the new highlighter and to try out the bronzer. Alright, I feel like that added a nice amount of warmth to the skin. It is buildable, it's a fairly light shade, so I think that's perfect for me, especially going into the winter. Next we'll go in with a little bit of blush. I have the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow in the shade 01 Pink. Nice bright shade. I love this for spring and for winter. It's a very complimentary shade for myself. They do have quite a range, so hopefully there's one that suits you. I do love how this just sort of naturally replicates like I was outside, it was a little chilly, it's just like a nice touch of flush. All right, next up, we'll do a little bit of highlight. So over here with the highlighter shade. Excited to try this one out. I'm absolutely in love with the other one that I had, so high expectations. So this is much more subtle glow. Sometimes it's hard when it's like a brand new powder product to go at it a bit. So I'm trying to see if that's what it is or if it's really more like an hourglass sort of ambient light feel, which would be great. I do love that look as well. All right, so you can definitely build it up. I don't feel like it's gotten too blinding. So it's still wearable. All right, we went in a little hard, so obviously you're going to get a little more exaggeration of lines that way. I feel like this side is less so. I definitely went hard over here, so maybe I won't do that in the future. But it is a very lovely subtle highlight, so I think I'd prefer to use it that way. More how it turned out on this side versus this side. This is a little much. Now, the moment, well, at least I've been waiting for. It's time to get into the eyeshadow palette. So here we have it again. I'll start out with a little of this. This is quite iridescent, so I'll just kind of put that more under the brow bone area. And then we'll go in with a little bit of, I think, the pink. I don't know, we'll try all the different colors. And then I think we'll do this third, fourth, and then go in with the silver around the inner corner last for the big drama to add some drama to the look. Now that iridescent pink, you don't necessarily notice it right away, but as you move a little bit, you can kind of see it in the light. That's really pretty. I think you can get more impact with these. When I was playing around with it before, if you use a little bit of setting spray on the brush, then you can really make them pop. But we're not going to do that with this color. We may with the silver though. All right, now I'm going to go in with some of the darker pink. This one's extremely light unless you use a setting spray with it, so it takes a while to build it up. Yeah, these are all very iridescent, so total party vibes. All right, now we'll add some of the brown, I think, mostly to the outer corner. I feel like some of it kind of migrated out here more than I anticipated. All right, now we'll add some of the purple shade to the center. Okay, now for the big finish, we'll take some of the silver and go from the inner corner towards the center. I'm going to start without the setting spray, but I think I'm pretty quickly going to try using some. Yeah, like that is decent impact without the setting spray, but I just want to see if I can really get it to pop. So we'll try the other eye with the setting spray. Oh yeah, there was a huge difference between those two. Oh man, that is absolutely beautiful with the spray. So if you're looking for a very high impact New Year's Eve party look, here we go. If you have, you know, family, Christmas, but you still want to be glam, you can go without the setting spray. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, now we'll blend a little more of the purple into the center, just to blend it all in. Yeah, I think I might have made a bit of a mess with one of the brushes. I think I was a little careless when I was applying, and I splattered a little, so I think you need to be kind of careful with these. I haven't had a lot of luck with really like fine-tuning some of this, so I need to play around with the palette a little more. It's very high impact, really beautiful, a little challenging to work with, but oh my goodness. I think if you play around with it a little bit, you can really come up with some fun party looks, so definitely gonna have to try that out. Maybe do a few shorts with some of these because this palette is beautiful. Let's add some mascara. So we have the Dior Show mascara, a nice giant fluffy wand. With the mascara, I think that helps the look. I do think these eyeshadows are amazing, but maybe not to do a whole look with just these eyeshadows. They're a little intense, so trying to do a whole thing with all of this iridescence, I don't know if it's really my kind of vibe, but it is really pretty, so I think I'd play around with using some more regular eyeshadows, like matte ones, and then adding one of these as like a, especially with setting spray, as like a fabulous topper to really spice things up and make them a little more festive. We do have a little bit of lipstick here. I have the case from the Blooming Boudoir collection that I absolutely love. It is refillable, so I've filled it with the shade 667. So we'll go with the toned down look for the lip. Just a little bit of pink, which I think is kind of fun with the purple and the iridescence we have going on up here. So I hope you enjoyed this little bit of playtime with the Dior Holiday eyeshadow palette. I absolutely love it. I'm not sure I want to do everything all together again, but I do love the individual shades themselves, and I look forward to playing around with it. Let me know if you picked up anything else from the holiday collection, and I'll see you guys in the next one.